air, dumbass. We have people that listen online, but you wouldn't know what that means because you're 90 years old.
Florida Man Radio. Unfiltered, unafraid. Get it how you need to. Now, everywhere.
The Ed Tyll Show, and let's try this moment of gripping and revealing controversy. That's all I can say. When you hear this, this could make a movie unto itself. Yesterday on The Five.
You said that these were conversations he was having with Russians. No, they were unmasking every single conversation he had
Every
with
American,
anybody.
yeah,
he had basically
every American citizen is supposed to be free from a federal government that doesn't like the citizen. Let's go over Barack Hussein Obama. Let's go over what's happening in the Oval Office on January 5th. When I looked at this, and I'm sure when you did too, if you're my age, you said Nixon has got nothing going on the hip-hop thug president with his boys in the White House. Wow. He's got bald-headed Brennan. He's got bald-headed Clapper. He's got all his inferior old white boys sitting there, doesn't he? And he's now quoted on record. A classified document has been released. The quote of President Obama is, he's been charged. We're not going to let him go scot-free. So this is Nixon looking at the Democrats. Those bums, they're not going to get away with it. But, Mr. President, you are winning. I know, but those people over there have to be stopped. That was Nixon. Nixon had meetings in the Oval Office just the way Obama did. It's an angry meeting. Do you see what's going on here? Are we going to let him get away with this? And people who are tuning in late go, what is Obama worried about? Obama believed what Hillary paid for. Hillary and many others thought there's got to be some nasty dirt on Trump. All we have to do is find it and we will finish him off. So she gave money to these clowns to get the Steele dossier. And of course, everybody knows the Steele dossier comes from a drunken conversation at a bar, gets typed up into an anecdote. It's an anecdote. People say Trump had hookers in a room and had disgusting sex with them to get onto Obama's mattress. They want to desecrate Obama. It is the sickest, twisted, most cocaine-fueled theory I've heard in a while. You really have to be on something to believe that crap. So he buys it and uses the federal government to do what he wants done. He's outraged that they can't get Flynn because he thinks Flynn knows that Trump is a Russian agent. They squeeze Flynn. So, you know what? I got to keep an eye on the clock here. I don't want to get too far behind. Oh, my God. This story is killing me. Yeah. So I think we're good. This story is killing me because I was a teenager when the first mafia was in the White House. This is a mafia when you do this. This is an organized crime cabal happening in that way. Second time in my lifetime now. Second time in my life, I got to watch idiots, morons, criminals get into elected office that I pay for, that I own the Constitution, don't you? We're the citizens. If we want to turn these bums out, we want to set the joint on fire, if we want to tear down what this corrupt garbage has become and start over again, we have the endorsement of the founders in the name of Thomas Jefferson. They knew it. Franklin knew it. This was going to be a fight. And now your second criminal cabal has been in the White House. The good news about this one is we taped this one. The first one, Nixon ran the tapes, and you had to get the tapes from Nixon from the Supreme Court. Now, fast forward, we own the taping system. The taping system has been published. It is out there. What I am relating to you is recorded on tape and transcribed. This will go to a court. A president can be arrested after office. I think Trump would pardon him, but it's 10 years in jail for unmasking Flynn. It's 10 more years in jail for having the meeting and saying out loud, even though he's cleared, we got to get him. What do you mean you don't have a crime on him? Find a crime. It's a 10-year jail sentence for Comey to say, don't worry, I have a plan for this. We'll set up the perjury trap. My agents will say to the general, you're not being investigated. You're helping us with whether or not the Russians screwed us during the election. So what does a good general do? Sure, of course I help the FBI. Now, I don't need a lawyer. No, you don't need a lawyer because you're not a target of the investigation. We want you to help us fight the bad guys. The general talks and talks. Thank you, General. Great. When they get the general's transcripts together and they go, my God, from everything he said, he didn't commit a crime, all of a sudden their tone changes. General, we've been looking over. Hey, what's with the tone? I thought we were the same guys on the phone. Well, I have to tell you, General, it's not the same anymore. And what's not the same anymore is Obama said to Comey, and Comey said to the agents, you better get this son of a bitch. Don't let him get away. We need to get him because Obama and Clapper and Brennan believed Trump is a Russian agent. It's a sick, twisted fantasy, but they bought it and they used the federal government and all of its power to violate the Espionage Act. 10 years in prison for all of this stuff. Nixon wasn't even facing 10 years in prison for the break-in of the Watergate. This is a federal crime on the books with big, fat federal statutes. So keep an eye on who Barack Obama lawyers up with, because they're going to be lawyering up. I predict that Trump will let the Attorney General file the charges, then he will pardon them. Trump will pardon Obama the same way that Ford pardoned Nixon. What are you going to do? Have the big fight and tie up the country? The country doesn't. The country knows what's up. You don't need the American people to be force-fed with all these details. The Ed Tyll Show will continue.
Florida Man Radio.
I'm News 6 anchor Bridget Ellison. Here are your Thursday morning headlines. City Walk at Universal Orlando begins reopening today. Only certain shops and restaurants will be back in business with limits on capacity. The health department says it has visited the attraction to see that everything being done to keep guests safe is working, and says a lot will depend on if people follow the rules. Governor DeSantis says he's looking at ways to allow visits to nursing homes and long-term care